Most people think strategy is about winning, about being smarter, faster, or stronger than someone else. But Sun Tzu never started from that idea. He started from something more basic: the way humans behave when they feel pressure, uncertainty, and fear. Sun Tzu lived in a time where conflict was constant. War was not an exception, it was part of daily reality. And because of that, he didn't romanticize conflict. He studied it the way someone studies human behavior. What he noticed was simple but uncomfortable. Most people don't lose because they lack strength. They lose because they misunderstand the situation they are in. They act too quickly. They confuse confidence with clarity. They mistake urgency for importance. To Sun Tzu, strategy was never about aggression. It was about perception, about seeing what others miss, about understanding conditions before taking action, about recognizing that uncertainty is not a flaw in the world. It is the natural state of it. That is why his ideas still feel relevant today, even outside of war. Because modern life is also full of conflict, competition, pressure, negotiation, misunderstanding. Different battlefield, same human psychology. Sun Tzu wasn't teaching people how to fight. He was teaching them how to think clearly when others cannot. This is the psychology of Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu was a military general and strategist during ancient China's Warring States period. Little is known about his personal life, but his work survived because it describes something timeless: how humans behave under pressure. The Art of War is not a book about violence. It is a book about decision-making in uncertain environments. It doesn't focus on heroes or dramatic victories. It focuses on conditions, timing, and perception. Sun Tzu believed that before any action is taken, reality must be understood accurately, because most failure begins before the first move. He wrote that battles are decided before they are fought, not by strength, but by preparation, positioning, and understanding. Psychologically, this reflects a simple idea: clarity precedes control. When people rush into action, they are usually reacting, not deciding. They respond to pressure instead of reading it. Sun Tzu believed the first responsibility of a strategist was not to act, but to observe. To delay reaction long enough to understand what is actually happening. This is why he valued intelligence, reconnaissance, and patience. Information reduces uncertainty, and reduced uncertainty lowers emotional interference. You can see this mindset in roles where timing matters more than force. A chess player who waits not because they are unsure, but because the position is still unfolding. A courtroom attorney who listens longer than expected, allowing the opposing side to reveal their assumptions. A military commander who avoids engagement, not out of fear, but because the conditions are not yet favorable. Sun Tzu believed that forcing action too early creates unnecessary risk. But once someone learns how to read situations well, another danger appears: overconfidence. When understanding turns into control, people stop listening. They stop adjusting. They begin to believe the environment should follow their will. Sun Tzu warned against this shift. He made a careful distinction between shaping conditions and dominating them. True strategy to him was not about pressure. It was about alignment. He believed the strongest position is one where outcomes unfold naturally, with minimal resistance. That is why he emphasized adaptability. He famously compares strategy to water, formless, responsive, adjusting to terrain. Psychologically, rigidity is a warning sign. When people cling to plans despite changing reality, they are no longer strategizing. They are defending expectations. A surgeon who refuses to adjust mid-procedure because this is how it's supposed to go. An athlete who sticks to a failing approach because it worked before. A negotiator who pushes harder instead of rereading the room. In these moments, control replaces curiosity. Sun Tzu believed adaptability was not weakness. It was awareness in motion. But adaptability introduces a new tension. If you're always adjusting, always observing, always responding to conditions, what anchors identity? Sun Tzu deliberately avoided tying strategy to ego. In the art of war, the self is almost invisible. The general does not fight to express identity. He fights to fulfill conditions. Sun Tzu believed that when identity becomes attached to being right, clarity collapses. Adjusting feels like failure. Listening feels like weakness. Correction feels like loss of status. So instead of adapting, people defend who they think they are. Sun Tzu separated function from ego. He wrote that a skilled commander does not rely on temperament, reputation, or bravery. He relies on positioning. You can see this mindset in roles where outcomes matter more than visibility. A chess grandmaster sacrificing a powerful piece because the position demands it. A trial lawyer abandoning a prepared argument because the jury's reaction signals a different path. A field commander retreating not because he is losing, but because advancing would cost more than it gains. In each case, identity stays flexible. Ego stays quiet. Sun Tzu believed this restraint was psychological stability, but it comes with a cost. When ego is consistently restrained, expression delayed and emotion minimized, something else begins to fade. Meaning. Sun Tzu never promised meaning. He promised survival. He warned that emotional attachment distorts judgment. Anger clouds timing. Desire accelerates mistakes. Pride prolongs conflict. For Sun Tzu, detachment was protection. But when this mindset leaves the battlefield and becomes a life philosophy, problems emerge. Outside of war, meaning is not a liability. It is a stabilizer. When people apply strategic detachment everywhere, they become efficient, but hollow. They win arguments, but lose intimacy. They avoid mistakes, but also avoid connection. They remain composed, but feel strangely untouched by their own success. Sun Tzu accepted this cost. His world demanded it. Ours does not. The danger today is not conflict itself, but living as if everything is one. Always optimizing, always calculating, always guarded. Sun Tzu's psychology works best when used situationally, not permanently. Use strategy to navigate pressure, not to replace your inner life. Use detachment to see clearly, not to avoid feeling entirely. Because clarity without meaning leads to directionlessness. And control without purpose turns strength into isolation. Sun Tzu shows us how to think clearly when others panic. But he also quietly warns us what happens when clarity becomes the only thing we value. So the real question is not whether his psychology works. It does. The question is, when the battle ends, do you know how to return to yourself?